All right, let me walk you through these a little bit briefly. If at any point you think you've got this, you can bail on this part of the video and start in on the homework. But if you feel like you need a refresher, you want to hear some more of this, stick with me here and I'll guide you through this a little bit. And it'll help, explain what you're supposed to do on the upcoming homework. All right, so the first sentence you were given was the blueprint for this building is hung on the wall. All right, so blueprint, is that a compound or not? Well, obviously it is because it's written together as one word. But let's say you just heard the sentence and you didn't actually see it written. Could we still tell that it's a compound? Yes. So there's a couple of various ways we could tell. First of all, we might want to identify the words that it's built off of. So it's built from blue and print. Blue is an adjective. How blue, very blue, seems blue. Print, that's going to be a noun. One print, two prints. It's a count noun. Blueprint together, okay. Is it a compound, first of all? Well, yes, because we're not going to be able to say the bluest print, right? So that blue, the thing that isn't the head, is going to resist inflection. All right, and so together, so it is a compound. Blue can't be inflected. Together, it's going to be a count noun, a blueprint, two blueprints, and the head noun is clearly print because it's a type of print. It's a count noun like print is a count noun. All right, what about blue eyes? She has blue eyes. Ah, okay, that one's not a compound. Okay, so just because it's written as two words, we don't know for sure, but let's check. How can we tell? Well, she has blue eyes. Ah, okay. So one thing is blue can be inflected. She has bluer eyes than I do. She has very blue eyes. It can be modified. Okay, so since that non-head can easily be modified, we can go ahead and conclude that it's not a compound. Okay, so blue, still an adjective, very blue, bluer, bluest. Eyes, a count noun. Eyes will be the head of the phrase. We are talking about a type of eyes, and it's going to be the noun that determines this, but it's not a compound. It's going to be a noun phrase. He stepped out into the damp London air. Okay, let's look at London air. All right, is that a compound? Yes, it is. We have a couple of ways to tell. One, right away, we have two nouns together. London, that's a proper noun. Looks like London. Air, that's going to be how much air, a masked noun. So we've got a noun-noun sequence going together. So we know they're going to be compounds. Also, London will probably resist inflection, although since it's a proper noun, it's hard to see what kind of inflection or modifiers, but gray London, he stepped out into the damp gray London air. That we can only understand that gray to modify air. It won't modify London. Okay, so that resists inflection and modification like we would expect for a compound. Okay, air will be the head. How much London air? It's a mass noun, just like air is a mass noun, and London air is a type of air. All right, I need to blow dry my hair. Okay, so we've got blow dry. Again, written with a hyphen, so it needs to be a compound. But maybe you can't remember. Does it actually need a hyphen in it? Is it two words? Is it one word? If you write it as one word, the spell checker will probably complain and tell you that's not a word. But then you got to know, oh, wait, it is still a compound. I need to write it with a hyphen. So how can we tell it's a compound? Well, we've got a verb sequence here, right? Blow, to blow, blow, blew, blown, dry, dried. So they inflect for tense. So they're both verbs. Well, presumably they're both verbs. Dry could also be an adjective. Seems dry, very dry. But presumably we're dealing with the verb dry here in this case. And we'll see actually the whole thing because it ends up being blow dried my hair with the past tense going on dry. It looks like dry is probably the verb dry in this case instead of being the adjective. Okay, well we've got two verbs going together. All right, so yeah, probably if they're the same part of speech going together, they're most likely going to be a compound. So that might help us out. Also note that blow is not going to be able to inflect here. So I don't say I need to blue or I blew dried my hair yesterday. So we're not going to be able to inflect blow because it's not the head. Instead, we inflect dry. I blow dried my hair yesterday. So dry is going to end up being the head. It's the one that takes the inflection. This university study was a real eye-opener. All right, how about university study? Is that a compound? Again, it is. We have two nouns going together. So we have one noun modifying another. All right, so university study, so that'll be a compound. Let's see. Like this major university study, how can we see that this is a compound? So this major university study, major will be understood to modify university study. It won't be a study done by major universities. And we also can't like pluralize. What if it was multiple universities? This university's study? No. If we understand that, it'll have to be with the apostrophe s, not just as universities being pluralized. All right, so university can't be inflected or modified, so that suggests that it's a since university can't be inflected or modified, we know we're dealing with a compound here, so we're dealing with a compound of two singular count nouns, right? So one university, two universities, one study, two studies. Together they're going to combine to make a singular count noun. University study, how many university studies? And study is going to be the head noun. What kind of study? It's a university study. So, and that's at the end is the last element. Okay, what about eye opener? Again, with the dash, we're going to know right away, or the hyphen there, that it's a compound. Again, it's not. We can also see as a compound because we're not going to be able to say like eyes opener. So where we have eye as a plural. We're dealing with a singular count noun eye, one eye, two eyes, also one opener, two openers, also a singular count noun. And together they'll make a singular count noun. We can see that we have the article there, which goes with singular count nouns, and they were eye openers, right, where we can pluralize it. Okay, and opener, is opener actually the head? Well, it's a thing that, an eye opener is a thing that opens your eyes. Ultimately, it's really this ER thing, right? So it's a thing that opens your eyes. Yeah, it's an opener of your eyes. So I guess opener will be the head. All right, now you'll be able to hopefully do the homework for this, and it all makes sense for you, and you'll understand all about compounds now.